All right, Eileen, we're ready to go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our session 3 of 4 of Small Business 101. For those of you who have attended the other 2, this is a continuation of exactly what we said is like a small business 101. So we have been holding these hour sessions with our guest speakers who have done a wonderful job in describing how to start a small business, how to grow your small business, how to finance your small business. And we're going to continue on with that. And we have one more next week with the Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to talk about some of the tax laws in the chamber, the Connecticut River Valley Chamber of Commerce for next week. So my name is Eileen Bucket. I'm the Director of Development for the town of East Hartford. And welcome to those who are joining or watching this on Facebook. Couple things, there is a Q&A function where you can type in your questions and your comments, and we can address them as they pop up per speaker, or we have time set aside at the end specifically for Q&A, so please don't be shy. There's no dumb questions, and actually for those of us who are sitting on the panel, I think we're learning a lot, and our wonderful small businesses that we've had on each session have, I think, taught us a little bit about having grit and persistence and what it takes to run a small business, because obviously we're just here to help you all who are doing the hard work in running the small businesses. So I think we've all learned from each other on these. You will also get a survey at the end. Please take time to fill out that survey so we can hear from you as far as what you like, as far as what you don't like, your needs, your interests, what we didn't cover, what you liked that we covered, and it really will help us if we choose to do these in the future. So please fill those out, and you will get the slides or an abridged version of the slides from our speakers that we're having today. So our first speaker is Melania Irwin from the University of Hartford Women's Business Center.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this morning's program. My name is Melania Irwin. I represent the Women's Business Center at the University of Hartford. Below is on this slide is my contact information, as well as our center's email and website address. The topic of today is marketing with a special focus on digital marketing. I'll kick it off by introducing our center a little bit for those of you that may not have attended our prior program, where I did a little bit of a larger introduction, and then I'll follow with some of the content for today. Next slide, please. So our center is a women's business center hosted under the University of Hartford and part of a national network of women's business centers throughout the country. Our mission is to support, educate, and empower women and people of color as they start, grow, build, sustain their small businesses. And as we're here focusing on East Hartford businesses, our primary clientele are Main Street businesses that really impact not only the lives of the entrepreneurs that found and run them, but also the local communities in which they operate. We're also part of a larger network of resource partners of the SBA, and you'll hear in just a little bit from Matt Puglisi, who represents the Small Business Development Center, another SBA resource partner. And we're very proud to be part of the entrepreneurial ecosystem along with SBDC and the other partners. Next slide, please. In support of our mission, we offer a variety of programs and services. We're also the proud legacy of the Hartford College for Women. Our legacy is years and decades of entrepreneurial and business education for women. We are currently located not only virtually, but with an office in East Hartford on Pitkin Street at the CCAT building. We support our missions through a variety of programs and services. We offer training, workshops, educational programs, which of course in the last year are all in the form of webinars. And in relation to today's topic, a lot of our webinars cover different aspects and delve more in depth with different aspects of small business marketing, as well as their digital marketing presence. We try to bring some topics, kind of fundamental topics, and also stay up to date and relevant with new platforms, new developments, new changes that come in the world of digital marketing. We also offer free business advising. We have 4 business advisors on staff that come with a variety of expertise. A couple of them have substantial expertise in marketing and digital marketing, as well as entrepreneurial experience of their own. So they're available to discuss more specific issues for our small business clients. We also offer technical assistance programs that are also heavily engaged in providing marketing support to select small businesses, where we're actually not only able to advise the businesses on their marketing strategy, plan, and so on, but also be able to help them achieve some goals with the help of marketing experts in different fields. Our technical assistance programs are a unique offering where we could really kind of move the lever for the small businesses to get them to the next level of presence marketing-wise, including online. We also offer networking and other events. And our main website is listed here, and I'd be happy to answer questions or get into more details on any of our programs. Next slide, please. So when Matt and I discussed the topic of today's presentation, with keeping the focus on digital marketing, that of course, all of us had to refocus on. Every small business owner, every support organization like ours had to pivot their operations online if they weren't already there in the last year. However, we thought it important to start with some marketing basics. The basics of marketing your business online are, the fundamentals are, kind of similar in the same, whether you're doing face-to-face marketing activity or promoting your business on a social media platform or networking virtually. So it's really important when we start working with our small business clients that we touch base on these fundamentals. If they're starting up, obviously they're setting up the foundation for their business model. If they are already in business, we like to start by taking an inventory and kind of performing a marketing audit to see what their presence is, what kind of activities they've engaged, how strategically they use all these marketing activities, and then delve deep into expanding their presence in front of their customers. So I'll cover here, I'll talk briefly about some marketing basics, defining marketing obviously as the process of creating and retaining customers, and it's all about making that connection between the business owner and their customers. Of course, small business marketing has a lot of advantages in that they tend to be closer to their customers. So if they take advantage of the opportunity to listen and engage with their customers, the connection is easier to make than, say, a corporate marketing department. I'll touch briefly on the basic marketing tool and topic of the 5 Ps. And my main presentation will be around planning and marketing strategy. And then moving into the marketing mix, I'll touch briefly on some of the digital marketing mix elements, and I'll let Matt follow up on that. Next slide, please. So the 5 Ps of marketing, let's start with that. The things that small business owners need to really address when defining their marketing strategy and presence are starting with the products that they sell. Of course, what a business is selling is at the core of their marketing strategy. And when we talk about products, we really would want to define the products through the eyes of the customers, right? What are the benefits that your products or services bring to the customers? And that's the way products need to be addressed, and promotions around products and services need to be addressed in the realm of marketing. It's not just about what you do. I mean, of course, it's unique and you want to set up that differentiation, but it's about how it fits the needs and solves the problems of your customers. Next, the people, of course, are your customers, and making sure that you know, you listen to, and you adapt both your marketing and your offerings to your customers is key to a successful marketing campaign. Obviously, you do this in different ways, whether you're marketing offline at an event or through social media, but it's all about that connection to your customers and all about knowing who your customers are and how to best reach them. The place is, of course, where you conduct your business on. And the only thing I'll say about that is, if in the last year, when our businesses moved almost 100% online in some instances, the internet and the business presence online became the sole place of business in some point. And just as a business location is part of their marketing strategy, the business presence online now became, pretty much the only place and differentiation in the marketing strategy. I won't touch too much about pricing, except to say that that's an important part of the marketing strategy, and that's something that needs to be looked at together with the other elements of the business's marketing model. Your pricing needs to not only affect your products and the uniqueness they bring, but also your customers and how much and what they're willing to pay for this products. And last but not least, promotion, which in a more narrow sense, we look at marketing as a mixture of the promotional efforts of a company. Next slide, please. So I keep bringing strategy in, and I really want to make a point about that, because successful marketing and successful digital marketing is really the act of utilizing strategically your assets in order to be able to achieve well-set marketing goals and engage your customers with the ultimate goal, of course, to turn them into paying customers and prospects. So as you define your marketing strategy, you need to answer questions like, who you are, what makes you unique, and why would people buy from you, which is the basic differentiation principles. You also need to define and maintain your brand. And the reason why this is easy to do strategically, because then you have a thought out brand idea of your business that you then use to rate every marketing decision, every marketing activity, every expense, whether it is in support of your goals and your structure. And you do it in a consistent and targeted way. So to create and formulate a solid marketing strategy, just to recap, you need to know your product, your customers, and your competition. Next slide, please. So where you would formulate the strategy, and where we work a lot with our clients, is formulating a marketing plan. In the previous webinar, we talked about the importance of business planning. We also work to define a marketing plan, either as a standalone guideline for the business or as part of a larger business plan. Planning, however, is essential to marketing success, defining the long-term vision, the audience, and the strategic actions to be taken, setting SMART goals, defining a marketing budget. Really important to plan a detailed tactical activity schedule, estimate the resources that you have, not only budget, but other support resources, and make a plan for getting additional resources if needed, And last but not least, measuring and following up the success and the efficiency of your marketing activities. Next slide, please. A big part of marketing, including digital marketing, is online and offline marketing content. So we work a lot with our clients on defining what that content is for them. How does it tie to the customers? I talked about describing products through customers' eyes, addressing your client's pain point and really being clear on the solution that you offer, and creating compelling and relevant content. For a lot of small business owners, creating that content also involve establishing themselves as the expert, especially in service-related businesses, but also in product-based businesses. There's a lot the small business owner can do to establish themselves as the expert in their field and their industry. These days, it's definitely not, and it hasn't been for a while, about throwing content out to your clients to educate them and inform them, even though that's part of creating good content. It's also about engaging them and getting feedback from them. And within the realm of using marketing content to drive business to your site and to leverage sales, your marketing content should also, not always, but occasionally include a call to action that would elevate your sales goals. Next slide. So talking about digital marketing fundamentals, again, I'm going to just touch briefly on some of them that we spend a lot of time discussing both individually with clients in dedicated webinars and one-on-one and technical assistance. Some of the basics of your small business presence online, of course, starting with the website that is the hub for your business. Basic decision that a small business has to make is what goals they want to set and what is the function of their website within their overall marketing. It's very easy to start with a website, not having thought out your strategy and your overall vision for your business. Of course, the website is one of the marketing elements that includes having a budget, and there are many different budgets in terms of designing and developing a website. So being clear on what you want your website to do when you set it up, and creating a user-friendly, consistent, clear website, but also being clear on what, as your business expands and grows, what would you like your website to do for you, and setting yourself up to expand on that as the business progresses. Talked about content, online content creation. We talked about the schedule. There are different ways to do to promote and provide online content, whether it's through social media posts or blogs or email blasts. I talked about the importance of not only promoting, but informing and educating, both with your own content and with shared content. Important to look at your competitors and see what they're doing in that. And really mostly important to brand yourself with your content, but also find content that's relevant to your target audience. Search engine optimization is a key aspect of developing and setting up your website, so it's foundable through search engines. That is something that generally small business owners would need assistance with. Part of it is just related to the setup of your website and using the right keywords, and part of it, of course, is related to more technical back-end issues of your website, but that's an important aspect. Social media, I think Matt's going to talk a little more about that. The only thing that I'll say about social media is that could be an overwhelming aspect of a digital marketing presence of a small business. So what we generally recommend is after having done the research around clients, the small business chooses one or two platforms to get started where their target audience really is most, and try to have a consistent, engaged, relevant presence there. and then expand from there. Also, an important part and a simple, easy part to set up are local online listings like Google My Business. We also talk about email marketing as a key part of your kind of your sales funnel past engaging clients on social media or clients that find you through search engines or SEO, and having these clients engaged and part of your email list, then you can really start the process of converting. So email marketing, of course, touches on some of the aspects of social media schedules and posting, as well as creating relevant content. And last but not least, networking being a big part of small business presence, virtual networking has become a lot more prevalent in the last year. I believe we'll be talking a little more about that next week, but it has become a way for small businesses to engage in networking conversations online. And my last slide, next slide, please. So just a few keys to success. It's all about communicating with your clients online, finding ways to stand out. In a way, marketing is about finding new and creative ways to repeat what you do to your clients. So find ways to do things that are consistent, but also things that stand out every once in a while. Invest in good relationship across the board. Get resources and support. The overall feedback that we get from our clients, even the ones that have their own marketing businesses, is that getting professional marketing help and support, at least for some aspect of their digital marketing, is something that's well worth their time and budget. Be consistent, and I'll just finish up with have fun. I come from a marketing background. I've spent many years in marketing and sales development. And for some small business owners, marketing can be overwhelming, but it's also the place where your brand, your personality as an entrepreneur, your interests can really shine. So I urge all small business owners to find a way to have fun with the marketing that they do for their business. And last slide, just their contact information. If you'd like to know more about our center, you can join our email list and you can connect with us on all of these social media and other ways to connect. Thank you for the time today, and I'll be available for questions.
Thank you so much for that presentation. And next we're going to have Matt Puglisi from the Small Business Development Center.
Great. Thanks so much, Eileen. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about social media marketing. I know that that's a topic lots of small businesses want to talk about, but just as I start off, social media marketing is just a piece of it, and everything that Milena said just prior to this applies to it. It's just kind of social media marketing is one of the strategies in your marketing funnel for your business. So just a really quick up front, a little bit about the Connecticut Small Business Development Center. We're happy to be working with the town of East Hartford and partnering on this. The SBDC offers free and confidential business advising services to small businesses. We're a resource partner of the SBA, and they fund us as well as the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, and we're hosted by the UConn School of Business. I'll put up contact information in the chat and have that available as well. But it's very easy to get in touch with us. We serve small businesses statewide, but our lead office is here in East Hartford on Pitkin Street at the Connecticut Center for Advanced Technology. We have 18 advisors. They provide the one-on-one advising services, and we have broken out during the last year into a team setting that allows us to match our clients with the advisor that has the real industry strength that meets their immediate need. So we have a customer acquisition team that handles social media marketing as well as all types of marketing and customer acquisition strategies. We have an operations team that looks at the way your business is set up and helps you try to find strategies that you can put into practice to increase your profit margin. We have a capital access team that helps clients that are looking for loans or to acquire money to grow or to start. And then probably most importantly for this workshop, we have a pre-venture team that just focuses with businesses that are about to start, looking to start, or have just started, to make sure that you really have, they have the nuts and bolts, making sure that at the municipal level, the state level, that you have, dotted all of the I's, crossed all the T's, and done this in an accurate way and done it in the right order of operations. And we serve all types of small businesses and also have 2 advisors that speak Spanish fluently. And we collaborate with organizations like the SBA and DECD and the Women's Business Center at University of Hartford. So you don't have to choose whether you want to work with Milena or us. We can both help you and love to do that to help small businesses grow. So looking at social media, lots of people want to use it or wonder if they should. And, I'm going to go into this. I have too many slides for the amount of time that we have this morning. But here are some strategies that social media can bring to your business's marketing and advertising. It can increase your brand awareness. It can boost your customer engagement. It can reach a larger base. It can generate new leads, drive traffic to your website. It could help you understand more about your client, more about your customer, and what they're saying about your brand, how they're interacting with you, how they're using your product. And the other piece that people love is that it's free, except that it's not. Nothing is free. Social media marketing is going to take you a lot of time and work. On these different platforms, I'm going to go through just a couple of them. There's ways to interact organically with your clients where you're just using your account as you might a personal account, but it's for your business and you're interacting that way. And then there's also ways to run paid advertisements or actually set up e-commerce sites, stores, virtual stores that you might sell your product through. But again, it takes strategy, it takes diligence, it takes creativity. Next slide, please. So if you're wondering if you should use social media or not, is it, really makes sense? I mean, look, we all know how much time we might spend on social media. We might not want to admit it, but an average of 3 hours a day is spent by people. It has such a broad power worldwide, statewide, nationwide in terms of being able to reach potential clients for your business. So it definitely can reach a lot of clients and have a huge impact for you. On the other side, next slide, you might not necessarily need to reach a worldwide audience for your product. And, that's the other side of the coin is, putting in a lot of time, energy, and effort and not being able to really focus your effort. And you do have the ability to focus it down if you're just trying to serve East Hartford or just trying to serve the state of Connecticut in terms of where your customers are coming from. But again, there's lots of different platforms, as you'll see here, and they all have different usage and they all have different types of audiences. And as Milena said, you really want to be able to look at this and decide what platform or platforms should you take advantage of and look at integrating into your marketing strategy. Next slide, please. And so that marketing strategy, you really want to define what your objective is in social media. Are you looking to grow your base? Are you looking to improve your customer service and build customer loyalty? Are you looking to create a channel that's just for customer feedback? Are you looking to update your customers on new products, increasing traffic to your website, conducting informal marketing research? These are all different things. Or are you looking to use social media as a storefront and a place where you can actually sell your product or service? So once you have a good sense of what that is, next slide, then you really have to decide what platform is right for you. And again, they all serve different demographics. I'm sorry, it looks a little bit blurry here in terms of the demographics here. At the SBDC, when we're assisting you, we do have some of this information that we can share with you to help you decide what's the right channel for you to advertise on. And based on the type of target customer, that you're trying to reach. And then within each, how much time, energy, money do you have to dedicate into maintaining what it's going to take? For anybody that's getting into this for the first time, jumping into all of the platforms simultaneously is just going to be too much. I also have a background where I did a lot of social media marketing for different organizations and businesses, and it can really suck up a lot of time. And you really do want to think about how you can maximize the energy and effort that you're putting into it, especially if you're by yourself and you don't have a marketing person that is on staff in a full-time way. Next slide, please. So I just kind of want to go through a couple of the biggest platforms that people might use. And we'll start with Facebook. You can advance it. Facebook is still king. It is still the social media site that the majority of people are using. And you can just see from these numbers here, the average user spending nearly an hour a day. 7 out of 10 adults in the United States use Facebook. So it still really is a place. If you have children, they might not be using Facebook and they might tell you that you shouldn't be using Facebook, but you can look at these numbers because it's not about what your kids are using. It's about what your customers are using and whether or not you're going to reach them. So we can go to the next slide. And I can talk here. This really applies to all social media platforms, but you want to think about your tone and voice that you bring to your content. Everything that Milena said about the content development, the strategy that you take there, that's completely applicable to social media and more so. We've all probably interacted with someone or some business that just keeps posting, to buy their product online. And we get tired of that. You've probably hidden them or, stopped paying attention and just scrolled past them. And you have to think about that because that's exactly what your customer is going to do if you don't find a way to engage with people authentically. Next slide. So you also want to think not just about reaching your current audience that is following you, but also getting to reach additional audiences. And so for people that don't realize, hashtags are ways for you to break beyond your current audience and, and be relevant based on what's going on. So, here we were talking about, using some COVID-19 hashtags that might call out. And again, there's fun ways to interact with hashtags and have your information get pulled beyond your current audience and interact with other audiences. But again, all of this takes time, creativity, editing, checking for accuracy, really important as you're getting into this. Next slide. We've all also seen a lot of brand ambassadors, and we've seen that for a long time in marketing, but we've seen this a lot in social media over the last several years. And, brand ambassadors on Facebook or any other platform provide things of value for your business. They help with your business brand reputation. They help you humanize your brand. It creates publicity, builds positive word of mouth. It helps your brand grow. And celebrity brand ambassadors and social media influencers, we see that. And as a small business, you might say, why is this relevant? But, it plays a role in customer perception. And you need to think about how this can matter still for your small business. And are there ways for you to build brand ambassadors for your business in your local community? And where is the value in that? But again, you don't want to get sucked into any one of these rabbit holes because you could take a lot of time trying to figure out who should be a brand ambassador. And you only have so much time as a small business owner in the day to do your marketing. Next slide. Another key piece with your social media marketing and really all marketing is, staying up to date with trends. And, you can do that in a variety of ways. You're going to be looking at what's going on in your community, in the nation and the state. in your industry, you really want to look at what your competitors are doing. And, my number one recommendation is before you even jump into any one of these platforms, you start looking at how businesses, both in Connecticut and your immediate community and throughout, the world or nation, are using the platforms to interact with their clients, because that can start to help you figure out what place your business can have, what strategy or style your business can have on this particular platform. You can get a lot of data. We can help you with a lot of marketing and industry data. The SBDC has the ability to pull reports from a variety of market analysis resources and tools that we can bring to bear as we're going through this and helping you craft this plan. All of these platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Google, Twitter, they all provide you with ways that you can look at your page data to see how clients are interacting. And then once you start to look at all of this, you need to start asking yourself questions and seeing if this is aligning with the way that, or the strategy and the goal that you had set out, and whether or not you're going to have to make changes. Next slide. So now we'll go on to Instagram. We can advance it again. And so Instagram is another one that's really popular. People younger usually than Facebook are using this a lot more. It's very visual and video focused, but what do we see? 200 million Instagram users visiting at least one business profile a day, and a third of the most viewed stories are from businesses, with 75% of US businesses saying that they're using Instagram in 2020. So Instagram is really powerful. You do see beyond that, we can go to the next slide. Instagram is one of these platforms where lots of businesses are creating an online Instagram store. So this is an e-commerce site for you, something that you can set up. And that, again, is something that we could do an entire webinar on itself on, but something that, whether you're working with the Women's Business Center or with the SBDC, we have advisors that are able to help you navigate that if it's the right choice for you. We can go to the next slide. And I think I don't want to run long, so we can kind of jump right into Google, the next one. Because I'm ending with Google. I think that that's the last one to not be overwhelming on all the different platforms, but Google provides some really huge, relevant opportunities for your business. Google Analytics can be great for your website to see where your clients or where potential clients are coming into your website from. Google allows you to do Google ads that are done through Google. And you can also set up, as Milena said, a Google My Business profile, which is free and creates a basic presence for you and something that you could take advantage of. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Next slide. So with Google My Business, you can create a free online listing platform. Businesses can, your business will show up when a specific category is searched by potential clients. And it's a great way to establish that online presence in Google, which is the #1 search engine that's used by people. And again, we'll, next slide, please. Again, once you're in with Google, you have the ability to look at a lot of analytics and metrics of how your customers are finding your business and how they're interacting with your business. And that's something that if you are working with an advisor, again, this data is something that they can help you understand and help you see how this is relating to the goal that you set out and the strategy that you're putting in place and how you adjust it. So next slide. The next piece is, as we're looking at multiple platforms, you say, how am I going to do this with all this time? There are a different variety of platforms that can allow you as a business owner to manage all of the posting, all of the interactions that you're doing on a variety of platforms. They have both free and paid versions to help you navigate that. But we use that, our marketing director uses that for the SBDC just to try to keep up with everything that we're doing. So, that is a resource that's available to you as you're just trying to manage the day-to-day. Next slide. But I think the most critical thing that I want to make sure that everybody understands is that, just like social media in your personal life, you can let social media marketing suck up a lot of your time and resources in your business life, and you're going to get nothing out of it but tired eyes. You need to analyze your effort and the results that you're getting from it. So you need to know, what was the goal that you set out for? How are you going to measure if you're getting to that goal? And then look at all of these analytics that are offered and decide how to adjust. Otherwise, you're just wasting time and money. And again, as Melina said, you don't want to jump into too many of these platforms at the same time, because you can have opportunities to do things in a free way that's organic, and you develop a voice for your business and you create posts and you interact with your clients. That's great. You can start placing ads, but all of these social media platforms are also businesses. And if you're not very specific with how you set up your ads, you can find that you've set up an ad that is advertising, your local restaurant nationwide, and you haven't shut that ad off, and it's running month after month, and all you're doing is paying the bill, and you're not reaching any of the audience that you want. So, again, when you're getting into really complicated advertising, we really do recommend that you're working with a professional or an advisor to get some guidance and whether or not you should be kind of making that next step. Next slide. I think the last piece to touch on really briefly is, when you're doing social media, you have to realize this is another social interaction. It's something that's highly visible. Social media crisis response, whether that's the pandemic and your business needing to shut down on a really, in a really quick way, and how you're going to communicate that, or whether you have an angry customer or a bad review, and how do you manage that interaction? Because remember, once it's online, you might delete it or hide it, but it's never really gone. We've all seen somebody reposting a screenshot and using that to fire things up more. So thinking about who is going to use your social media and how your business is going to respond are really critical things that you need to determine as a business owner before, not after, but before you get into this. And you can just skip through, let's go 2 slides. So next step, as you're thinking about this, set up your goals. Think of what those are going to be. Remember, social media is something that you can use at the very least to build trust with your customers. You can find stories that can be shared based on your business. Let them know what you've been doing. If you're an artisan, show your craft, show your process. Focus again on quality over quantity, and you want to tailor posts to your audience. And the next slide is just CTSBDC is here to help. We can go forward, and we have our website. It is ctsbdc.uconn.edu, or you can follow us on social media platforms at CTSBDC. And again, it's ctsbdc.uconn.edu, and happy to be included in this and be here to help. I'll toss it back to you, Eileen.
Thanks, Matt. That was great. And next we have Sarah Morgan, who is our library director.
Thanks, Eileen. So I'm here, and you might think, what does the library have to do with social media marketing and e-commerce? But I'm here to promote a service that we have called Virtual Book a Librarian. So Book a Librarian is a service we've had at the library for some time. And pre-COVID, you could come in and sit one-on-one with a library staff member to receive tech help. We have taken it virtual so that from the comfort of your own home or your own business, you can connect with one of our librarians one-on-one by appointment to assist you with your tech needs. So we are not business advisors. We're not web developers. So many of the specialized marketing skills and tasks described by Matt and Melina are not within our skill set here at the library. But if you watch this presentation and you think, I need basic tech help to get started, I need help setting up a Facebook page. I'd like to use library databases to do some marketing research for my business. I need to know how to set up my own Zoom account or to become more comfortable in Zoom to participate in webinars and other professional development activities. Or if you're interested in using Canva, which is a free online service for graphic design, you can set up an appointment with one of our librarians and learn how to do those things. And we can provide follow-up help and support to you based on your needs. So we are here for the basics. We are here for the nuts and bolts. And to follow up, you can call us at the library at 860-290-4330 and say you'd like to book a virtual Book a Librarian session. Or you can shoot an email to ehpl-reference@easthartfordct.gov. and we'll schedule a virtual appointment. So the librarian will check in with you about what you're hoping to learn, and we can customize your session and take it from there. So that is our virtual Book a Librarian service. And it is my pleasure now to introduce a local business owner, Gracia Hamans Martin, who is the Leather Genie and the owner of Grassolini Creations right here on Main Street in East Hartford. And I am providing the introduction rather than any of our other panelists because I am a customer and a fan, and I think she has a great Facebook page and a great website. And I recently had a piece of furniture repaired in a creative way by Gracia and want to celebrate her work. She can grant your leather wishes. She is the Leather Genie. And so with no further ado, I'm going to turn it over to her to talk a little bit about how she got started with online marketing and social media promotion of her small business.
Greetings. Hello, everyone. Social media and online marketing in general, all of that was a very frightening space for me. But with all the resources that places like the Entrepreneurial Center has to offer, and Matt, who just finished spoke, that's a new resource I didn't know about. I definitely gonna have to give him a call. And you can book somebody from the library to help you with your Facebook and all of that. My very first website was more for information. You could go on there, you could see samples of my work, you could find where I'm located, and you could get a little bit of background stuff on me. It wasn't e-commerce, like it wasn't for shopping or anything like that. It was just purely informational. And then I got another website with some help from the Entrepreneurial Center. And I didn't do enough with it. So again, that fell by the wayside. Because one of the things I realized about online is there is just, as I said, the World Wide Web. It's a web. And you can really get tangled up in that web if you try to be everywhere. Like, oh yeah, there is Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there is this, there is that, there is StumbleUpon, there is Bunks Into. Every day, there's a new platform. And if you find yourself keep running to all of these different platforms, then you spread yourself thin and you get nothing done. And for me, being the Leather Genie, that is my main focus of being the creative source. So I don't really have the time for all of these different online platforms. So I eventually paid somebody to set up a proper website for me, equipped for e-commerce and everything. We went with Shopify, and he customized the template to suit my business. I am on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but I mostly use Facebook and Instagram because that is where I believe my market base is. It don't make sense for me to be on TikTok and a lot of things that a lot of the youngsters are on because they don't have any spending power. The people who are buying my product, basically, they're adult, working adult, they're on Facebook. A lot of grown folks are on Facebook. My daughter tell me sometime like, oh, mommy, nobody uses Facebook anymore, but she lies because Facebook is where I get the most response to my posts and things like that. So probably I could get more from social media if I put more time in it. But again, my time is in creating products. So I share a little, and for the little I share, I think I get enough bang for that buck. So if I spend a nickel and I get 25 cents return, that's cool. Maybe one day I might decide to spend 25 cents and then I might get $1 or $1.50 return. I don't do too much as far as Facebook ads. I use that whenever I'm running a program. Like before the pandemic, I used to have a program called Libations and Creations. Whenever I'm having those programs, I would run ads. But just in general to advertise my presence, nah, I find that I get more out of just generic marketing, not really targeting anything and spending a lot of money, but just by posting and engaging, then yeah, that's where I get a lot of response. And for most small business like myself, I want to tell you, say, don't really be afraid. Don't be frightened by all there is out there. Just pick one or maybe two platforms and say, yeah, this is gonna be your platform. I don't spend all the time on social media. I don't have that kind of time. When I get into work in the morning at 10, I spend about 15 minutes checking my email, responding, seeing my social media engagement. If I have something to post, I might post at that time. And again, at 3:30, which is when I have my lunch, when I sit down for lunch, again, I will check in and see if there's something or somebody I need to respond to. And then again, at the end of the day, officially I close at 6, but most time I don't leave my place until 6:37. So in that little slot, again, I will go online and check. So when I break it down for you like that, I'm just trying to tell you, you don't have to spend the entire day online. You don't have to, every time your phone says ping, you stop, oh, who is that? Now, that's just gonna kill your day, kill your productivity, and kill your time. And at the end of the day, this platform that you're on, hoping to get something from, you don't really get anything from it. It just suck you dry, chew you up and spit you out. You don't really want to do that. So it's about managing your time. And social media, that will suck out all your time if you don't set a time. Say every day you're gonna check in 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever worked for you. What I outline is what worked for me. Mondays, I'm closed on Mondays. So most time on a Monday, I don't go online. I have other things to do with my Mondays. So that's just it. Hey, hopefully there is some little nugget in here somewhere that somebody can find to implement in their business and their business approach that will work for them. So basically that's it. I don't know if anybody have a question I'm willing to answer.
Thank you so much. I'm actually spending my time scrolling on your Facebook page because I need a belt.
Hey, but by the letter Genie is always there, willing to grant your letter wish.
I'm one of those older people that uses Facebook, but has migrated over to Instagram too. So thank you so much. My kids are not on either of those. They do other things. I don't know what they do. TikTok, YouTube, and I don't know, Snapchat. I don't know what the kid, I suppose I should know this, but I
love is the integration now between Facebook and Instagram. So
yeah,
I don't have to post on Instagram and then go post on Facebook.
True.
I post on Instagram and it gets shared to Facebook. So yeah.
Excellent point.
I like that.
Right. Okay. If anybody has any questions, you can type them in the Q&A. I don't see any open questions. We have 3 minutes. If anybody has any questions you want to type in. If not, thank you everybody today for your presentations. Thank you to our small business guest. Check out our Facebook page. I already did. And we will see you at the next, I don't have my calendar open. Next Tuesday,
Tuesday, the 29th.
Tuesday, the 29th for the Chamber of Commerce and some other presentations. So have a great rest of the day.
Matt, I'll be calling you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Nice to see you, Gracia. Take care.